Hey, coach. So glad you found the video. Make sure you subscribe and like. Make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Let me help you put banners and national rankings and all those things in your gym. Go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's a community of like-minded coaches. We just got off an hour and a half call. Come over and join us, and let's head off to the video.
All right, welcome to High School Hoops. Coach and I are laughing because we looked at the topic beforehand, and we're both like going, "We don't need any notes."
I don't need no notes for
but
this.
I'm not even gonna tell you what the top. Well, you already know what the topic is because you saw it on the podcast thing. But anyway, I'm not. I'm gonna pretend like I'm not gonna tell you. It says a lead magnet here. Anyway, before we do that, I'd like to give a big shout out to our two sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish. Go check them out. One of my players just bought a home version of Dr. Dish. It was like they're cheaper. You can put them in your driveway.
Like $450, I think.
Yeah, the ones that hang on the net, the IC3s are like 400, and then the ones that you plug in that will actually pop it back to you is like, I think that's less than $1,000. But anyway, they'll take really good care of you. Mention me. They'll give you $450 off, and they'll give you a deal. I don't know what kind of deal they can give on the home one, but on the other ones, they sure can. And then also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. The one-stop shop for basketball coaches, everything you need. Too much stuff, to be honest with you. It's going to be my summer goal to go in and clean that up. I'm actually starting a secondary membership that's going to kind of give you a behind the scenes of my basketball program. Going to kind of marry them together. So if you're thinking of joining Teach Hoops, I'd do that sooner rather than later, because I got to hire somebody. I am not a programmer, so I got to hire somebody to go in and clean up my website. So prices are going to have to increase. All right. So this week, there's my dogs. So I have two Goldens. Sanibel. Ooh, I don't know why I did that. Sanibel. So if you're from Florida, you know where Sanibel Island is. And the other one is Disney, because my kids love Disney. So those are my two Goldens. And one of them's probably barking because someone's walking in the neighborhood. So anyway. Sorry about that. I will not be editing that out. So today's topic is the deterioration of fundamental basketball.
Yeah.
Coach, we do not have 3 hours to talk about this. We have like 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. I'll do what I can.
We gotta do the Cliff Note Spark Note version. Cliff Note for our age, Spark Notes for this generation.
Oh, yeah.
Close. Yeah,
we've been aging ourselves.
I know. It's true though. But I say Cliff Notes, they don't know what I'm talking about because they read Spark Notes.
Crazy?
I guess Spark Notes must have taken Cliff Notes away or whatever. I don't know. Those yellow Cliff Note books in the library.
Yeah.
Every kid that grew up.
I think there's like a meme that goes around maybe once or twice a year of like the things that kids nowadays will never experience, like slamming the phone down in somebody's face and stuff.
Well, you know, another thing before we talk about this, I tell my students this. I go, you guys got it so easy. Like you're texting and you're doing this to the boy or girl you like. I go, I used to have to talk to the dad to get to the girl.
Right.
And then I'd have to stand in the kitchen and do it. And they go, what do you mean? It's because I didn't have a phone in my room.
Exactly.
And then she didn't have, like, you maybe have a long extension thing. It's like, you have no freaking idea.
And you better watch what you say, because mom might have picked up the other line
and be listening. I know. See, we are old. All right, let's talk about fundamental basketball.
As a junior college coach, we spend almost I'll say a year and a half of our 2 years with our athletes teaching them the fundamentals. The defensive strategy isn't there. You know, like I said, the one pass away, hand in passing lane, 2 passes away, that, which it's a song in most of our heads, is not there. I think I've mentioned before, hey, we've lost a lot of games in the second half because the defense is on the other end and we're not in our players' ears dictating exactly where they should be and things like that. And it's just discouraging because, and that is because coaches have started, I don't even know how to say it. I'm trying to be politically correct here. Because the game has just gone down the drain. It's become one-on-one.
It's about money.
And it's
About
it's
money.
become that it's about money and fame.
Yep.
Money and fame. So you've got a superstar player that you just toss the ball. So you've got, Jimmy to the right, Jimmy to the left, Jimmy down the middle. Are the three plays that you have,
Jimmy, ball screen for Jimmy. Ball
ball screen
screen.
for
Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
Ball screen. Yeah, I know.
And it confuses. I've seen some athletes that are timid on the court that you watch them during warm-ups and they're knocking down their shots, they're going in for the layup, they're doing their ball handle on the side, and you're like, oh man, nobody told me about her. So I'm watching her, and then when she gets in, she's timid to shoot. She takes 2 dribbles and she immediately passes it back to Diane. Because so you're hurting the other players on the team when you could get a network going and be just as good, if not better, as a team than you would, with this one player. And people look at Caitlin Clark and might be tempted to say that, but she's not that.
Okay, first of all, Caitlin Clark is a generational player.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
there'll maybe be another one in the next 5 to 10 years because of the way she passes the ball.
Exactly. Which her court vision, her IQ,
her-
she knows when to do when not to
You
go.
go back and look when she was in 7th grade. She had that she had that early.
Right.
And then the scoring came because she got stronger and that.
Exactly.
But she's always been able to see the court.
Always been.
So here's my theory with the deterioration. We need to go to the European model. We need to go at the youth level that you practice for 3 days and then you play 1 game. The American model is you play 3 games and you practice once a week. That's the American model.
Yep.
And our model's messed up. That's why the WNBA is, I think the girls are actually getting more fundamental than the boys at the younger ages.
Yeah.
But that's the reason that the rest of the world is catching up with us and is the NBA is because they're just more fundamentally sound than us. Watch the NBA draft in June. It will be crazy. It'll be half of them will be from other countries.
We won't even be able to pronounce. It'll be a season before.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not doing color or something. It's like, yeah, I know. It's like, no, I just think so I think there's a couple things. I think that's a deterioration. I'm not going to badmouth summer ball and AAU. It's great. But here's the issue: summer ball and AAU. 20 years ago, it was 1 AAU team in an area. Now it's 17 AAU teams in.
Hey, I'm in Memphis. 17 is on the low end.
Yeah, and then what happens
we can have our own AAU division in Memphis.
Yeah, so let's say you have 16U. Great. There's going to be 1 good 16U team in that organization, and then there's going to be 5 other ones that are going to be horrible that are going to help pay for the top. Yep. So it's all about the money. It's all about the trickle up, not trickle down. Trickle
down. Exactly.
So that's the issue. And Jimmy John and Sally and Susie and whatever are not going to be playing collegiate basketball at the highest level, probably. Most of them
are not, right?
So that's the issue is the parents think they are. And it's like, no.
Yep.
And especially with NIL now, it's going to get worse.
Yep. I live in a small town in Mississippi now, and because of my history, I'm state champion and all that stuff, and people still remember that. When I moved back home, and some athletes wanted me to start training them, and then some of the parents in the city said, hey, Emma, why don't you start an AAU team? And I was like, we're not ready. And they're like, what? I said, we're not ready.
I don't need my head checked.
Bashed. Right. I'm not gonna have these parents pay all of this money to go and just get ripped.
Right.
So what I did is I reached out to the New Orleans Pelicans, and they signed off for me to do a junior NBA league here.
Right.
And I get to set my own rules. They have their stipulations, but I get to set my own rules how I want to run it. And the way that we're running it is we're going to have 2 clinics a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And all of my athletes have to attend at least one of those clinics, or they don't play that weekend. We're playing our games on Friday evenings, Saturday mornings. I mean, the coach gets their 2 hours of practice time at another gym. So they got to fit those in. It can't be between 6 and 8 on Tuesdays or Thursdays. Right. Because the clinics are there. So they can participate in both clinics, or I say all 2. They can, or just one, but they have to participate in at least one, or they don't get to play. So we'll have probably the first couple of weekends, we'll have
You'll have some
teams.
kids that won't play.
We'll have some teams that probably won't get to play because they won't have enough eligible players.
Right.
You know, I'll have some parents that'll pull their kids out, and we'll give them a partial refund. But
Right.
that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Because the fundamentals
And
have
USA basketball is trying. I think they really are. I think USA basketball is trying, but they're fighting an uphill battle of money
Yep.
and power. I'm
Exactly.
telling you.
Yep. It's not, it's just gone. And
Yeah.
I mean, even with, I love post play. I'm a post play specialist and I'm a defensive specialist. And on the men's side, particularly, the back to the basket post player is almost
Gone.
non-existent.
They're dinosaurs. The Shaquille O'Neals of the world are gone.
Are gone. Now you still got the big guys, but
They're stepping out. They're like
stepping
Lopez
out.
for the Bucks. They're shooting
Yep.
threes, and yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The game has really changed on that. All right. Any closing remarks on fundamentals, Coach?
What's the Bible scripture? A house built on sand. I think that's what basketball has become. I think we need a cornerstone. Cornerstone is foundation, or we are going to just wash away into a tide is going to come, and we're going to be washed out into the ocean.
Yes, I agree. All right, that was a great way to end. Thank you, Coach.
Hey, Coach, so glad you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. Actually, if you did, subscribe and like, and then go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better.